Evening peeps, evening, welcome back to the channel. I'll tell you what I've not done, I've not found the points. Forget those for now though. Tonight we're back with round 7 of MRC's GTTCC, or the Gran Turismo Touring Car Championship. Round 7, we've got 2 races for you tonight. We've got a qualifier that's just kicked off, and then we've got 2 races. The first race is from Laguna Seca, tricky circuit as it is. So we've got half an hour around there. Then we go to reverse grid for race 2 at Suzuka. First race is the one make. So everybody at Laguna will be racing in the Ferrari. And then they get free choice of car in the second race this evening. I say a free choice. They have to pick that car at the start of the season. And they have to keep that car for the rest of the season. Right. Let's get in. Merch still available, people, to t-shirts and stickers. Hit me up, darksmoker@googlemail.com. If you want any of those, let me know. Right, so qualifying has just got underway. Let's have a look. Who have we got in the room? Let me turn some sound on. Let's not have another Tesla race. So we've got Heracram, Dark Clark, Moose, Like, Jared, GTP, Toby, LFC, Fan 07, Fat Pickles, Bro, P Gib, P1 Don, Manny is in the house, Janio, and Mocking Weeks, Lemon Drivers in the Fusion League. 6, maybe 7 lobbies open tonight for the GTTCC, or various divisions. So probably talking near on 100 drivers racing in this series. And they do get the opportunity to move up and down the leagues, if you like, just like in football, if you know about that. So let's get ourselves in then. That's not what I meant to do. So the nonsense is on. Let's do a lap actually with Moose, Like, Jared. You can see in the Ferrari down towards turn 1, the Andretti hairpin. He's gone a little bit deep into that. Down towards turn 2. You notice all the sand on the outside of this circuit. Very easy to run a little bit wide, catch a wheel on there, and get yourself spinning around here at Laguna. Especially early on when everybody's vying for position. Down towards turn 4 then. Brakes up the hill, up and under the bridge. Oh, Jared sticks a wheel on the sand, has to back off the throttle. Another tricky corner here, again very easy to run it wide through that one. I've seen several drivers do that a couple of weeks ago in the GT3s. The infamous corkscrew coming up then. Very tricky, just wants to unsettle the cars as it throws them down here. Easy to get a little bit wayward coming out of this corner. Towards the end of this circuit then, 2 more corners to go through the right-hander. Down towards the left-hand elbow, back onto the start-finish straight. We're not going to see that though. Jared comes in the pits. We have got hot laps already coming in, so it is Dark Clark on pole at the minute, 126.7. Let me just have a few glory shots of Dark Clark while I hurriedly try and find the points. This is hurriedly. Come on, give me points. Come on. Points. Is that everything? Some of you, Mr. Clark. Jared then, just coming back out of the pits. Fresh set of boots on for him. Right, let's have a look then. Fusion League, that's what we want. Let's have a look. So it is Dark Clark still leading this championship. Just see if I can get a better view of that. He's got himself 244 points on the board. It's a big old lead over Hirakram sitting in second. He's got himself 200 points. We've got Moose Like Jared, he's in third with 147 points. We've got Mocking Weeks in fourth with 128 points. Fifth is Fat Pickles Bro, he's got 117 points. P. Gibbons sixth with 109 points. We have LFC Fan in seventh with 107 points. P1 Don 8th with 101 points. We've got two drivers on 97 points. That is GTP Toby and Jainio, both on 97. So joint 9th. We've got JRC Racing in 11th place. He has got himself 89 points. We've got P1 Manny, he's in 12th. He's got himself 71 points. And Dylan, relegation area at the minute, he's got himself 68 points. We have Mental Nev in 14th with 45 points, and James Harben with 43 points. Again, a lot of these drivers not been able to make it week in, week out, so obviously not going to score as many points. But the championship leader currently leading this qualifying session. 1:26.7 for him. 2/10 faster than Moose Like Jared. Scandinavian friend. Hirakram third then. Just coming up towards that corkscrew section. He's got himself a 1:27.0. Not too far off, just quarter of a second back from that pole lap. P. Gibb just getting a fresh set of tyres on as well. He's got himself fourth on the grid currently. Toby fifth. LFC Fan in sixth on the grid, 1:27.7. He's just set that lap. P1 Don also just set in a fast lap, 1:28.0, seventh on the grid. Fat Pickles in eighth. He's got a 1:28.4. Manny in ninth, 1:28.7. Janio in 10th. He's got just kicking up some sand there, 1:30.9, sitting in 10th at the minute. And Mocking Weeks out on the second. Oh, he's been playing. Look, he's got mediums on the front. He's gone for the mullet. He's gone for the mullet setup. Mediums on the front and softs on the back to try and preserve the front tyres from wearing out too quickly, I assume. Not working well in his qualifying session though. Moose Like Jared goes quicker. Sticks himself at the front of the grid. 1:26.485. Just pips Dark Clark. Dark Clark get it back. Can Hirakram find any more time? What can Mocking Weeks do once he gets a full set of softs on? Peak as well, comfortably in fourth at the minute. GTP Toby not moved from that fifth. All the sponsors you can see down the side, so LFC Fan for instance, I think his was Vodafone, it is, but you can see it's Scottish Huntingdon's Association as well, so all the teams, all the drivers in across all the lobbies are split up into teams. They get given a sponsor, the Vodafone or Texaco or whatever it is, and we've linked each one of those liveries or each one of those sponsors with a charity, and there's a voluntary donation to race at the start of the season, and all the money collected up will be divvied out between the top three teams' charities. So the top three teams overall in the championship, whichever they are, the money gets divvied out between those. First obviously gets a great big chunk, second gets a slightly lesser chunk, and third gets an even smaller chunk, but it's all in the name of charity, so it's good to see. Lots of drivers in the pits then opting to go for the tyre change. Pete Gibb, what's he got? 29.6, not quicker this time, but it is a pit out lap, so he's got opportunities now. It is still Moose Like Jared on pole though. Everybody now I think out on a fresh set of tyres. Put that in my the hashtags at the bottom of the screen when it comes comes to this sort of stuff. I'm going to have to put hashtag ASMR lighter click. Clark then on an outlap, Hirakram on an outlap, Pete Gibb, he's got himself a reasonably fresh set on, he's just finished his outlap. Toby, brand new fresh set on his outlap. Janio, fresh-ish set on. He's just set a quicker time actually, 1:27.3, so 6th position. 2 seconds quicker than his previous time. LFC fan now throwing himself in the pits. He wants another layer of rubber on those tyres. Manny 8th. Again, fresh set of tyres on. Just starting his next hot lap now. Don on those fresh tyres on that hot lap. Let's just see what he's got. He'll come up to the line around this next corner. Oh no, sorry, I'm on the wrong part of the circuit. As well, fresh set of tyres on. Again, he tried the mullet setup, he went for mediums on the front, softs on the rear. Wasn't able to set a very fast time. So he's thrown himself back in the pits and he's now got full soft front and rear. You can only do it at the start of the race. If you come in the pits, you can't opt for mediums on the front and softs on the rear. You have to just go full softs or full mediums or full hards or whatever it is. Can do that little jiggy right at the start before you even enter the lobby and stick the mediums on the front and the softs on the rear, or the other way around, or however setup you want to do. Just can't swap them left and right in that respect. Oof, Fat Pickles just losing a penalty during this qualifying sesh. I don't know whether we should have penalty set up during qualifying. That's not penalty loss anyway, at least discount their time, but a penalty loss I don't think is quite cricket during qualifying. Fat Pickles then currently 11th on the grid, 28.4 his fastest so far, but he is still this man on pole. Dark Clock not been able to close that gap up on him at all. Hold on to it 13 minutes into this 15-minute qualifying session. He'll get himself a pole. A couple of minutes, we'll soon find out. Corkscrew then. Going to get another lap out is looks like Jared. So someone just getting it a bit wrong, coming into the pits or coming out of the pits. Not coming out of the pits. A lot of cars very close together. I wonder if they've had a little bit of a coming together through that corner. Looks like Jared then. Not able to go quicker that time. This will be last lap for him though, less than a minute on the race timer. Clark still not able to get anywhere in terms of taking that time down between himself and Moose. Hirakram as well staying third. LFC fan has slipped up of the field. He's now fourth. He's pushed Pete Gibb down into fifth. GTP Toby still sixth. Janio seventh. Weeks parked up at the side of the track. He looks, obviously he's happy with his 8th, or he's not going to get an opportunity for another lap now, that's for sure. Manny is in 9th, Don 10th, and Fat Pickles 11th. And again, we just wait for all of these drivers to cross the line. It is pretty much as the first man on track. Sorry, epilepsy. I can't help it. It doesn't give me the option to flick. It is going to be Fat Pickles that takes the honours of crossing the line first. This qualifying session. Can he move up the field though? That's the question. Not this time. Stays in 11th then. going to let me go through them in order, so unfortunately we're not going to see certain drivers cross the line. Don up to the line, Jaini up to the line. Looks like Jared thrown himself in the pits anyway, but he is on pole position. Dark Clark pulls over. Oh, you sneak bag, Dark Clark. Right at the end, that final lap, look. That's the first corner he's just come round. That very last lap, 1:26.4. He retakes pole. 0.65. Jared, thought you had that one then. The Finn denied. He's been denied the pole. Dark Clark thought, I'm not having that. I'm championship leader. I'm on pole. And he's took it. Everyone now trying to take out moves like Jared. Then pole sitter right at the end. That's right, get out of the way, gives a good shot of Dark Clark. There it is. So he does get that sneaky pole then. Look at the state of Bruce like Jared's car because everyone's picking on him. Scratched up to hell. Smashed his car up and disappeared, look. Bleeders. Finn then. Unfortunately, had that pole sitting lap for the last half of the qualifying session, really, until Dark Clark decided to have that final lap and went, yeah, I'm going to have pole back. Thank you very much. Retakes it by the skin of his teeth. But here we go then. First race, half an hour here at Laguna Seca. Dark Clark regaining that pole spot right at the end of qualifying. Now we get underway with race 1 of round 7. Lights go on then, the revs are up. Can everyone get away cleanly? Does everyone get through turn 1 cleanly? It's a tricky corner. Oh, this car's... Oh, we've had a bit of a slow start, I think, from... who's that at the back now? It's Toby having a very poor start. Dark Clark, though, having to go defensive into turn 1 already. Moves like Jared. For that top spot already, he's got to be careful he doesn't leave the door too wide open for Hirokram and other drivers to have a look. Going through turn 1 cleanly. GTP Toby not getting a good start at all. I'm not sure if one of the drivers ended up clattering into the back of him, but there you go, an LFC fan. To go to the left hand side of the circuit for absolutely no reason. Drops the toe of the 3 drivers in front. Almost, he is just getting a little bit of a toe. Mocking Weeks has a little look up the inside of P. Gibb. P. Gibb leaves the door wide enough open for Mocking Weeks and Janio to go through. The 2 teammates for the Sparko team get themselves past P. Gibb. Gibb also under threat there from GTP Toby. Oh, Toby gets a wobble on. He's moving up the field quick though, even with that poor start. Don into 9th. Fat Pickles 10th, moves up the position. Manny in 11th. Yeah, Toby up into 8th already. He's pushing. He's already on the back end of P. Gibb as well. Oh, has another little look up the inside. Gets that position. Janio goes a little bit wide on the exit of that final corner, but holds on to it. Just a couple of drivers falling off the back of this pack now. Fat Pickles and Manny 2 seconds down off the main field. It is Dark Clark that still leads us then. Top 3 have broke the toe of LFC van behind. There's a full second between them. LFC van got his own worries though. He's got a mirror full of Mocking Weeks. Janio, even with that little... he's stretched his limits. He's testing those limits. Toby have another little look up the inside of Janio. Wants to move back up this field quickly. Toby. Oh, he's running up the hill then. A few drivers kicking up that sand. Oh, LFC van's gone off. Again, that corner very, very tricky. So that promotes Mocky Weeks into 4th then. Teammate Janio right behind him in 5th. Toby looking to 6th. P. Gibb now 7th. On 8th, LFC fan back on track, but down in 9th position now. Lost 5 positions with that mistake. Oh, he's got off there as well. LFC fan, get it back on track, get it back on track. Come on. I know you support Leeds, but there's no excuse. It's going to bring Fat Pickles and Manny back into the chase as well if LFC fans not careful. Clark found a bit of time on that lap, then starts to stretch a tiny bit of gap between himself and Moose like Jared. Moose also pulled a little bit of time between himself and Hirakram. There's about 0.8 of a second between all 3 of these drivers. Each of these 3 drivers. He's 1.7 seconds down from that battling trio. Again, pulled himself a little bit of a gap between himself and Janio. Janio's got a penalty to lose, under threat from Toby as well. He's got to lose that position if Toby stays where he is. Half a second, it's going to cost him. Already having a look then, Toby up the inside as we run up the hill towards the corkscrew and gets himself past. Losing that position then. Janio has only got Pete Gibb 0.8 of a second behind. He's going to have to be careful. He might lose this position to Pete Gibb. So he's got 1 more corner to go and then he hits this penalty zone. Pete Gibb's still 0.8 of a second behind him. Closing up. Here we go then. Let's have a look. Gibb pulls over, drops that penalty. Gibb through. Don not able to take advantage of that, not quite close enough to make the move. C-Fan moved up a position as well, up into 9th. Oh, sorry, no, you were 9th, apologies, I thought you dropped down to 10th, but no. Pickles and Manny falling off the back of the field a little bit again, 2.3 seconds, but they're having a little race all of their own down there. Change at the front then. Dark Clark, Moose like Jared, Hirakram, 1st, 2nd and 3rd. The gap between these 3 and Mocky Weeks is opening up a little bit. 2.4 seconds. Toby as well has found, look at the gap he's managed to find. Right on the tail of Mocky Weeks. It's going to be a hard push though if he's driven this first stint very, very hard. He's going to put a lot of wear on those tyres. It's benefiting him now, but it might cost him later on in the race. He gets up the inside of Mocky Weeks there as well, takes 4th. Now he is the chase car, 3 seconds behind the top 3. Again, tyre wear looking a little worse on Toby's car than it is on Mocky Weeks. And P. Gibbs as well, so he is pushing that Ferrari pretty hard. Again, just got to be careful it doesn't cost him later on in the race. Then at least, and he's got himself past on Fat Pickles, but Fat Pickles is not having that, keeping himself right up there with him. Both drivers sticking a wheel on the sand through turn 2. Manny up into 10th then, Fat Pickles 11th. Dark Clark then, what's he done? He's found a massive great gap, 1.8 seconds. Gap now between himself and the Moose. The Finn's still got a mirror full of Hirakram as well behind him. Still within that slipstream range as well is Hirakram, so not able to lose 3rd place driver. Toby, he's made a 10th up on the top 3. It's taking him a lap to do so. Again, his tyres. A little bit more, it's just flicked to the front 3. Yeah, their tyres are all looking better than Toby's. So again, benefiting him now, but whether it costs him later on. He's not actually closing up very, very slowly. He's catching up on the top three. He is pulling away from the drivers behind. I don't think he's closing up on that top three as quick as he wants to be. Whether he's even paying attention to his tyres yet, I don't know. If they're not costing him any time as such, he might not even be worried if they're not letting him slip and slide around corners. Not even bat an eyelid at this point in the race. Mocky Weeks then holding that fifth. P. Gibb close back up on him as well. Janio and Don not too far off the back of him. LFC fan just keeping himself in that fight as well. 1.2 seconds back. Just out of the slipstream range of Don, but might be able to make that time up into some of these corners under braking. As he drags 0.5 of a second back straight through that corner there. There you go. So Don, Janio and P. Gibb have had to sort of had a little bit of a concertina as they come into there, which has allowed the LFC fan to close that gap. P. Gibb has a little look on Mockin. Mockin has gone for the sneaky sneak. He has gone for the sneaky sneak. Mullet's on the front. He's gone for the mullet setup. He won't be able to do that when he comes in the pits to change tyres. P. Gibb then up the inside down towards turn one. Mockin Weeks doesn't go too defensive in that one. He comes back up the inside through the second apex. Brave move. Side by side still down towards turn two. P. Gibb's got the advantage. Plenty of room though, both drivers. Almost off circuit there for Mockin, but it is going to be P. Gibb, I think, that gets that position. He's got the advantage in this corner, and he does take that fifth. Mockin Weeks in the thick of it now then, sixth position, but Janio right behind him, Don right behind him, almost up the inside. NFC fan still just trying to keep himself tagged onto the back end of this fight. With Dom then at the back of this little four train, running up towards the corkscrew we go. P. Gibb just leading us through there. Mocky Weeks in the second position in this train. Janio right in front of us, on board with Dom. So again, is P. Gibb blowing his tyres out while he's going for the overtakes on these guys. Keeping it very close together, these four. LFC fan close that gap up again. He's just getting a toe now. The drivers we're with and the drivers in front will all be getting a toe off P. Gibb. Hole now that somebody makes, kicks up the sand. Nowhere for Dom to go, right on the back end of Janio as we come down towards turn four again. Everybody just getting the little help from the toe. So let's just have a flick up to Toby. Look at that front right, it's absolutely blown out. He's fallen 2.5 seconds behind Hirakram now, so it was about a 3-second gap. It's dropped to 5.6 and he falls into the clutches of P. Gibb, Mocky Weeks, Janio and Don. Again, everybody else's tyres looking in a lot better condition than Toby's. Just flick back up to him. Rah, that front right absolutely screaming out, it's costing him time. Further back from the top three, no positions changed up here. Dark Clark has found more time though, now 2.6 seconds out front. Making it look easy at the minute, Dark Clark. Tyres looking pretty good. Valvoline Texaco livery, got the SADS logo on his car as well. Charity for his team. Looks like Jared Hirakram then second and third running up the hill. Toby holding on to that fourth, but for how much longer? There is P. Gibb, Mockin Weeks, Janio, Don and LFC fan all chasing him down. Manny in 10th. Fat Pickles, that fight's fallen apart now as well. Big gaps between Manny and Fat Pickles, 2.6 seconds. This man just stretching his legs around this circuit, 2.8 seconds now. Like I say, just making it look easy. Jared, on the other hand, has had a mirror full of Huracán for the last few laps. It's flipped between sort of 0.5 and 0.8 of a second between those two, but position's not changed yet. There's this next fighting pile. Toby in 4th. Gibb now right behind him in 5th, 0.8 of a second. Mocking Weeks picking up a penalty. Janio also picking up a penalty through there as well. Must have been pretty much on that final corner because they haven't had to serve that penalty, so it doesn't quite register. Don has got himself in, oh sorry, he was in 8th. It's more drivers in that pack, but it's not. It's LFC fan that's still hanging on to the back end of this fight. But looking good for P. Gibb as he still hangs on to the back of Toby as he struggles around the circuit with that busted front right tyre. It'll cost him around that corner, it'll cost him around the corkscrew. Careful through there, you don't want to run all 4 wheels off this circuit. I think Toby did, but must have lifted off the throttle. Gibbs had a bit of a wobble. So he's fallen off the back of Toby, right into the hands of Mocking Weeks. Mocking Weeks and Janio both got a penalty to lose as they come around this corner. Peel off the racing line. What happens then? They lose that position to how many drivers? Don goes through, so only 1 position lost then for Mockin and Janio. Well, FC fan having a little look up the inside into turn 1. It was a brave move, not quite able to get his nose up the inside of Janio. Tucked himself right under that rear wing on this next lap then. Manny's starting to close the gap up as well, now just 1.7 seconds behind LFC fan. 3.9 behind him. Dark Clark again just making this look easy. 4.2 seconds gap now. Huracán has made the move on Moose like Jared. He's got himself up into 2nd. Mistake maybe by the Moose. Tiny little wobble might have just slowed him down enough for Huracán to make his move. They were very, very close. Huracán into 2nd then. Can he start closing the gap up on Dark Clark? 4 seconds as it stands. 16 minutes into this first race of the evening. Looks like Jared hang on to Huracán as well. Doesn't want to lose the toe from that driver in front. On to 4th, 6.7 seconds down that front right, desperate to be changed. Gibb not been able to close that gap back up yet, still 1.6 seconds between them. Gets himself back out of danger. Don then into 6th, Mocking Weeks still 7th, Janio still 8th. He's had to go defensive from LFC fan though. In the midfield then. Manny unfortunately unable to close that gap up yet. 2.1 seconds down at the minute. 3.8 seconds down. Dark Clark unstoppable here at Laguna. is starting to find a little bit of time over the Moose. The tyres in a slightly better condition. Closing up on Dark Clark though. Toby then. He's managed to hang on to him. Does another lap on these soft tyres. Gibb falls a little bit further back now. He's now 2 seconds behind. Don just 1.1 behind him. Janio's got past his teammate, so Janio enters 7th, Mocking Weeks 8th. The slipstream down the straight, I can imagine. LFC fan still just hanging around in the background, just waiting for one of these two to throw themselves off circuit. He must have made a mistake. That front right is dead on his Ferrari, absolutely full red on that front right. That's allowed Fat Pickles to close back up on him. Fat Pickles gets past. I think Manny's realised he can't defend really. Watch how much Fat Pickles manages to stretch the gap out when they start going through corners. LFC fan, where have you gone? All wrong. LFC fan throws himself to 11th. What an absolute nightmare. He's gone around that corner far too quickly, run himself a little bit wide by the looks of it. Wheel on the grass and around he's gone. Work to do then, running out of time as well, 10.5 minutes remaining. Still 4.7 second, the gap up front, Dark Clark over Hirakram. Again, Hirakram just hanging on to that time between himself and Dark Clark, but Jared unable to do so. He's falling a little bit further back, 1.3 seconds now. Starting to struggle a tiny bit with the tyre wear, I think. Toby, how have you managed to hold on to 4th? Wasn't able to make the move. Don has closed back up on you though, taking about 0.3 of a second out of you. Mocking Weeks unable to regain that 7th position, so Janio holds on to that one. Manny's in the pits, LFC fans in the pits. Softs on for LFC fans, softs on for Manny as well. Both drivers exiting the pits. But these guys up front still got a little bit of life left in their tyres. Are they going to run to the end? A quarter of the tank left. Are they going to have to do a splash and dash? Mediums on for Hirakram. So, I didn't even realise you were on the mediums, Hirakram. Coming into play at the end of the race then. Again, not able to close that gap up on Dark Clark, even with the worn softs. Keeping himself out of danger of moves like Jared, and Jared making it easy for him, running himself off circuit. Oh, and again, it's going to be slowing him down. Toby is under threat now. P-Gib right behind him, 0.2 of a second as we head down towards turn 4. Again, front right, absolutely gone on Toby's car. Struggling to get around these corners. P-Gib unable to get up the inside there. Does he get the move into this next turn? Not this time. Toby exploring those track limits. The break-in was a little bit naughty, I think. Toby looked a little bit naughty. You kind of closed the door, even though P-Gib was pretty much on the inside of you already. Cost you both positions. It's going to cost you more though, because your tyres are blown out. Still going defensive then, Toby. I don't think he's going to be able to hang on for too much longer. Not with that front right. These drivers will find a way past at some point. Very defensive down into turn 1, trying to hook that inside line. Doesn't want to leave a door open for Janio. Janio still has a little look. P-Gib throws himself in the middle of that fight as well. 5th now. Dom's already through. 7 minutes remaining. Now does Toby struggle around there? Not too badly. Janio does close up. He drags P-Gib with him. Not able to make the move into this corner. No. Oh, I thought that, Toby. I thought you were carrying far too much speed to take that one. Yep, throws himself off circuit, drops himself to 8th then. Locking Weeks almost past P-Gib as well there. Moves himself back under the rear wing of Janio. Sorry, we're on the rear wing of P-Gib. We're looking at Janio. We're on board with P-Gib. These three coming close together as well. Dom's got a great big gap up front. Let's just see what's happening. Dark Clark then. Still plenty of time in between himself and Hirokram. 4.2 seconds. His front right now is pretty much dead. So you will see Hirokram start to close that gap up a little bit. Whether it's enough to regain that time before the end of this race, just 6 minutes remaining, is yet to be seen. Moves like Jared, falls off the back end. Now 3.2 seconds off the back of Hirokram. Under no threat from Don though. 11.9 seconds down in 4th. Janio another 2. And oh, Janio! That's not the corner you want to be going off circuit. He was in 5th, sorry. He's just thrown himself into 7th. P-Gib, Mocking Weeks getting past them. Been exploring that corner a few times, Janio, kicking up the dirt through there. Toby then 8th, cautious through this corner this time. Just 2.6 seconds behind him as well. Tyre's not looking too bad on the Fat Pickles car. He's gone for the mullet setup as well. Mediums on the front, softs on the rear. And he's got those fresh softs on at 29.7 seconds down in 10th. And LFC fan, we caught him spinning round just before the corkscrew. He's also been in pits and stuck a fresh set of tyres on. Unfortunately, he's now 11th. He's sitting in 4th. Time is falling now then. Dark Clark having to take his time around the left-handers. 3.3 seconds he's got now over Hirokram. On board with the chase car then, the number 2 driver Hirokram. Here is Dark Clark, current race leader in front. 4 minutes on the race clock. Time falls a little bit again, down to 3 seconds. Still not closing up enough yet. So having to feather the throttle is Hirokram around some of these corners. Whoa, he's got to wobble on through there. It's going to cost him almost half a second. Dark Clark then, 3.5 minutes remaining. Still 3.3 seconds lead over Hirokram. Anybody else near to having a battle? P-Gib then in 5th. Way off of Mocking Weeks now. Janio a little further back. He's got a penalty to lose as well. He's off circuit through there. That's not going to benefit him at all. Toby's going to come back past and get him. Is he? Janio able to keep enough speed up with that penalty. Pickles still just 2.4 seconds off those two. Struggling with tyres as well. And he 27 seconds down on those fresh tyres. LFC fan, both of these closing up a little bit, but not enough before the end of this race. Gap is below 3 seconds at 2.5 minutes left on the race timer. Can Dark Clark hang on to the lead? We'll see 2 more laps, aren't they? Oh, the next question is, have they got enough fuel on? Dark Clark's already flashing. He's got another lap to put in. Hurricane's holding a little bit more fuel, but he has picked himself up half a second penalty. So now it is all about whether Dark Clark has got enough fuel on to finish the race. Just to have a little flick through here. Fat Pickles all over the back end of Toby. Toby gets a wobble on through there. Fat Pickles is going to come through, I think, and get that one. He's got the inside line down towards turn 1. Nothing Toby can do about that. He's carrying a little bit more speed. Oh, Toby goes for the switch back up the inside, but has to brake earlier than Fat Pickles. Fat Pickles up to 8th then. Toby 9th, Manny 10th, and FC Fan 11th. Fuel gauge moving lower and lower, the time getting lower and lower as well. 2.5 seconds between them, 1 minute left on the race timer. Are they going to get another lap after this one? Has Dark Clark played a blinder? I think they're going to see another lap. Down to 2.3 seconds. Oh, here we go then, but Hurricane's got this half a second penalty to lose. Let's see what it is, 2.2 as he comes up towards that penalty zone. What is it by the time he hits turn 1? Oh, look at that, he loses almost a second. So on to last lap then. Dark Clark, I think, has got enough fuel to finish this one, so he should be okay for the win. It'll be the last couple of corners. If he does run out of fuel, he'll be praying to God that he can carry the speed right there if he does, so Hurricane doesn't regain that top spot on the final corner or something. But we have got drivers already crossed the line, so we've got Janio taken 7th, we've got Toby takes 8th, Fat Pickles takes 9th, Toby managed to get that one back then. LFC Fan is, Manny is going to come home for 10th. There he is into pit wall, not happy with the mechanics. LFC Fan there, not having a best race tonight. Takes 11th. Back to the front, Dark Clark still holding 3 seconds. Coming up towards his final corner as well, he is going to have enough fuel to finish the race. He should be able to carry enough speed across the line, even if he doesn't. He's giving us a flash of the lights as he comes up to take the win here tonight in race 1. Hurricane, his good effort, came home second, and Moose like Jared as well was in second for most of that race, and Hurricane just was able to sneak that one off him. So he takes 3rd. Don is going to come home in 4th. Gibb takes 5th, and Mocking's giving it a great big handbrake into pit wall for 6th. So race 1 done and dusted. We have a little bit of a break between the first race and the second race, and then we jump into race 2, which, if I remember rightly, is Suzuka. What are you looking at? Come on, pick the right thing. Yes, it is Suzuka circuit. Another half an hour. Again, reverse grid. Cars change as well. So that first race was the one make race. Everybody driving the Ferrari. Race 2, you're going to see all sorts of different cars on track. You're going to see McLarens. You're going to see Lamborghinis. You're going to see Citroens. You're going to see some Alphas. What else have we got out there? Alphas, Lambos. I think that's it, I believe. Have we got Lexus out on track? We might have a Lexus. We might have a Lexus. I can't remember. Yeah, sorry, Cato HD. Sorry, Cato HD. This is it's almost a private lobby. You know, if you're not part of the MRC's main page and you're not signed up to the GTTCC, we can't have you just diving in the lobbies. You know, because if you start smashing and banging people, then it's ruining their race for them, and you're you know, you're a randomer that's just turned up. So if you want to go and smash people, go join the dailies. But if you want to race cleanly, yeah, as it says on screen, go join MRC on Facebook, and you'll see many offerings in terms of race opportunities and leagues that are open. So unfortunately, you're not allowed in. There we go then, Suzuka on circuit now. We go again at 10 o'clock, so you've got 9 minutes to wait before race 2. And you know what's going to happen, people. You know what's going to happen. We're going to get people going out and doing 1 or 2 laps. And then everybody's going to end up on that start-finish straight. And they're going to be torpedoing. That's what's going to happen. There's the spaceship of Moose like Jared. Look at the size of that thing. It's long, it's wide. The only thing it isn't is tall. That's what it looks like from inside. Look, a bit of a fighter pilot spaceship view. Little heads-up display on there as well. Give me a proper rear view, no? That's what you give me. You don't get me to look through that spoiler, that great big monstrous spoiler there. Or is there even a rear window on this thing? There's not, is there? Nah, that's why you're not giving me rear view mirror. Because you can't bloody see anything. That's right, Kato HD. Chuck that in there. On YouTube now, bro. You never know, might see him in the chat. You might see him in. Hello, Kato. Come on then, get yourself in. Come and find me. Tell you all about it. Why is everybody? There's no tyre spinning. There's no donuts going on. Nobody's torpedoing anyone else. What's happening? You boys are far too sensible in this mid-race break. A few drivers out on track now. Dark Clark not torpedoing anyone yet, but lining himself up for a couple of practice starts, possibly. Short shifting in the McLaren. Pickles in the Alpha. Let's have a quick look at these liveries while we're in this little practice session. Apologies about the wobble, that's when the car gets too close to the side of the circuit. They've not quite designed the cameras to figure out that they can go outside of the circuit. They can't, you know, once it hits a fence it just pushes you back in, unfortunately. That's not the line, Pickles, is it? Oh, it's looking, oh, look at the tyres, look at the tyre choice, people. It's inters, oh, you're on the softs. We've got a few drivers on the inters. We're expecting rain for race 2 then. Although maybe Toby didn't get the memo. You won't get very far on those, my friend, if it decides to rain. I'll tell you that for sure. We were looking at liveries. Let's start with the Jared and the spaceship. Look at it. Monstrous great thing. How dare you, Citron? Mr. Clark, there he is in the McLaren for race 2. Nichols in that little Alpha. Doesn't look very big, doesn't sound like it's got a massive great engine in it, but it doesn't do bad to keep up with those things like moves like Jared's spaceship, which is, you know, got fusion drives and God knows what else in it. One of these, look. Maniac. Lamborghini of Janio. So they have to pick this car at the start of the season, and they have to stick with it for the whole season. I think they do get the option to change their car if they're not happy with it, but when they do so, I think they only get within the first couple of weeks of the season, I think, and if they do that, they have to lose half their points. It's raining. It's raining, so it's going to have to be inters or wets for race 2. Yeah, you're not going to get far, Hirokram. Let's get on board with Hirokram. Watch him go sideways. He's struggling. There's no puddles on circuit yet, but the second they start turning up, which won't be long, you can see this thing will not turn. And if it does, it turns all the way round. Well held there, Hirokram. But yeah, you're not going to get far on a set of soft tyres here tonight, that's for sure. Again, Toby's done the same thing on the wets, on the softs. Look, he's just put himself straight and it's gone sideways. You can't get the power down. You can't get the power down. Get some different tyres on. You've got no choice, Toby. You've got no choice. There's no way you can do anything on the softs. Spinning the rears up when he hits full revs. Minute, it's just going to launch that rear end round. Watch. Is he firming? No. There you go, Toby. Come on, you maniac. With the inters on, they're very tentative around some of these corners. How bad is it in car? We've got nothing on the windscreen. Just be at this particular point on the circuit though. I don't get to see the weather map from this perspective. You only get the weather map if you're actually driving, so I couldn't tell you if the rain's coming in or not. They do get, they have the option to stick a radar view of the weather on their screen, but you know, I don't get that option because I'm not in a car as such. I'm going to get to see basics from their point of view. They're struggling a tiny little bit. Nobody opting for the full wets. Nobody thinks it's going to be torrential then, by the looks of it. Inters possibly the way to go. I think the soft tyre drivers might be hoping that it's a lap one bit of rain maybe, or it's going to come for a certain part of the track and they can deal with that for a lap or two. Or not, as the case may be. And obviously if it's dry at the start of the race and rains later on, they can possibly pull away from the drivers on the inters. But we'll have to see whether drivers decide to come out on the softs or the inters. It does look like we're about to get this one underway, and if Toby and who else was it? Who else had the softs on? Hirokram? Well, okay, we've got inters on. LFC fan, oh, he's on the softs. He has braved it. Man, he's on the inters. So you will, I would have thought, See LFC fan pull away. We'll have a quick flick through and see what tyres people are on once it gets underway. Lights go on then, the revs are up. Does everyone get away well? GTP Toby not having the best start on race 1. Ended up at the back of the pack, but fought his way back through. Let's get the nonsense on before we hit turn 1. It is LFC fan that holds the lead. Oh, Fat Pickles dipped a wheel on that AstroTurf. Got to be real careful around the outside of these circuits. So LFC fan leads the way through turn 1 then. Toby in that spaceship in second. Already pulled a little bit of a gap between himself and Manny in the inters. So it's Toby here. So the two soft tyre drivers have got great starts off the line. Obviously dry conditions at the minute. So they should be able to pull away from the drivers behind. Everybody behind I think is on the intermediates. Don't quote me on that yet. As we work our way through, we'll have a look. So Manny in third, then Hirokram. Oh, Hirokram's gone for the soft as well. So you will see. Oh, there you go. You will see Hirokram start to fight his way through the field. So all the way from the back of the pack already into third with that soft tyre on. But it all depends on when the weather's coming, doesn't it? Manny in fourth, then Janio fifth. He's on the inters. Inters for Fat Pickles in sixth. But moves like Jared just drives around the outside of him. He's also on the softs. Drivers opt in for that risky move then. You've seen how difficult these cars can be to control if you're on the softs in the wet. And they are hoping and praying that the rain either stays off or it's for a couple of 2 corners or something. So it's a brave move going on the softs if everyone else is on the inters. Again, if it works out and you're able to use those softs and pull that gap, once the weather does hit, you might be able to even opt for coming in the pits and sticking a different set of tyres on. Dark Clark also on the softs. Janio inters on for Mockin. Fat Pickles on the inters. P. Gibb on the inters. And Don also on the inters. So varying tyre options already. If that's you in the chat, Mr. Kato HD, welcome. LFC fan then leads Toby in that monster right behind him. Goes for the overtake down towards turn 1. Slings his way up the inside. Can he get the braking done early enough? Nicely done, nicely done. This door a little bit open, but no effort LFC fan to go when they come out of that corner. Into the S's then. There is Hirokram, a fast driver on those soft starts. To close up on these two, he's battled all his way from second at the back of the field. He's now hunting down these two. Again, they're just praying for this weather to hold off, praying. So Toby leads, then LFC fan second, Hirokram third, moves like Jared fourth. Dark Clark fifth. All the soft tyre drivers then making their way through the field and up towards the front. Manny, the first of the drivers on the inters, already 4.6 seconds behind those soft tyre drivers. Janio is right behind him. Mocking Weeks a second and a half back, 1.5 behind in 8th. Similar gap back to Fat Pickles in 9th as well. He's got a mirror full of P. Gibb as they come into the hairpin. These drivers on the inters and Don also out on those inters. So they've been split up a little bit while they've been, I'll say allowing, they've been letting the faster soft tyre drivers through. So it has split the field up a little bit at the back. Toby then in that spaceship starts to pull a bit of a gap, 1.1 seconds over LFC fan. Hirokram is starting to close back up on LFC fan, 2.4 seconds behind him. Moves like Jared is only 1.9 back from him as well. And then we have Dark Clark 1.4 back. So those soft tyre drivers really starting to stretch a great big gap on circuit. 8 seconds then between themselves. Whoa, whoa, okay. Okay, so it's raining. They've done a lap. They've had to come in. Everybody else just coming around this final corner then. Where are they going to end up? Where does the pit driver come out? Who's was the first in. It was Toby, still in his pit box. Gets released now. He's got the inters on. All of the drivers come out at the same time, so close together that they're locked inside each other. Oof, I can imagine the view. Well, that's going to end up in chaos at some point, I think. Looks like they've separated now. Oh, still having ding-dongs on the way out, LFC fan and Don. So back up front then, it is now Manny that leads the race on those inters, showing a lot of wear already, but now the rain's coming. That should keep them nice and cool. So Janio behind him, 0.6 of a second, mocking Weeks not too far back either. So what's the weather going to do? Is it going to stay raining? Is it going to dry back out? We're going to see everyone opt to jump in the pits and stick another set of softs on later on. Let me know in the chat. What do you think? What do you think of options? Oh, Manny dipped a wheel on the grass. I can see how much that slowed him down. Janio looking for a way past now as they run down towards Spoon. But Manny going defensive. Maybe have a mile an hour. I don't know why, because they're both in the Lamborghini, but goes a bit wide through there. Come on, camera, keep up. Goes a bit wide through there, Manny. Janio sneaks through, gets that first position. Manny drops to second then. Just went a little bit deep on the way through. Oh, of course, that's the other car we've got. It's Mocking Weeks in his NSX. Completely off subject. I thought there was another random one. Thought it was a Lexus, but no, I was wrong. It's the NSX I'm mocking. Currently in third, so opting for those intermediate tyres from the get-go. It's now the top 5 drivers out 2.1 seconds ahead of Toby and Hirakram. Oh wait, going wrong way. Toby and Hirakram side by side through the casino triangle. Oh, that's an absolute punch-up between those two. Toby knocks Hirakram. Hirakram comes back, knocks Toby. But both drivers ending off circuit a little bit. Thought Hirakram was going to slow down and wait for Toby, but nope, hammer down. 7th then for Don. Oh, the two spaceships having a side-by-side through turn 1. Toby coming off worse. He can't even get that thing pointing back on the circuit yet. Toby falls to 10th then. LFC fan. Oh, he's out on the soft. You maniac. He's decided to try a lap. You can see it's not worked out well. There's dents and scratches all down the side of that thing. He now drops the inters on, but unfortunately, he's got a 3-second penalty as well. LFC fan. Oh, race 2's falling to bits for him as well, unfortunately. It is still Janio up front that leads. 1 second. Everybody pushing the limits around the Degners towards the hairpin then. Janio from Manny, from P. Gibb, from Mocking Weeks. There's Fat Pickles in 5th. Hirakram, Moose like Jared, Don and Don Clark starting to close back up on those drivers. They've got the fresher intermediates on, opting to go for the softs in lap 1. Moose like Jared then back on circuit in 7th. Don Clark just making his way past Don into 8th, Don then 9th, Toby in 10th. He ran himself side by side with Moose like Jared through turn 1. He's gone wide through Spoon as well. Oh, worst corners you could run off circuit. Toby's finding them. Turn 1 and Spoon. Big wide corners. Very difficult to get your car turned back in on those corners. LFC fan, unfortunately, having a terrible race. He's opted for the softs at the beginning of the race. He's decided to try and do an extra lap on those softs, which hasn't worked. Pushed him very far back. He's come in the pits as well. Changed his tyres. There's 30 seconds. He's got this 3-second penalty to lose as well, unfortunately, for LFC fan. A lot of work to do. So it's all about really how fast Hirakram, Moose like Jared, Dark Clark and Don are closing up on these 5 drivers here. Janio, Manny, P. Gibb, Mockin and Fat Pickles. Because he has closed the gap upon Fat Pickles down to a second between Hirakram and Fat Pickles. Again, these drivers behind all opting for that soft tyre from the get-go. The rain coming down right at the end of lap 1. The drivers opting for that tyre change early on. Again, I don't think we've got very far on the softs as we've seen in practice. Drivers going backwards through there, so Hirakram starting to close back up on those fresher inters, dragging Moose like Jared with him. It's only half a second back, 0.6 of a second. Don Clark, who'd already made his way past Don, is in 8th, 2.1 down. Don falls off the back a long way, actually 4.1 seconds in 9th. Toby 10th. Get back on track, Toby. Stop, maniac. That thing's not for off-roading. Does it look like it's built for off-roading? No. Got no ground clearance. .3 seconds down then after losing his penalty. So let's just keep an eye on LFC Fan for this next 19 minutes and see if he can get anywhere close to these drivers in front. Oh no, Degner 1, he's chucked himself in the gravel. Struggling here then, LFC Fan. Top 3 starting to close back up. All 3 Lamborghinis. Janio, Manny and P. Gibb all opting for the Lamborghini. All opting for that intermediate tyre from the off as well. Rocky Weeks just 1.4 seconds back in the NSX. And Moose like Jared both managed to get themselves past Fat Pickles. Dark Clark just 1.6 seconds down. Everybody peeling over to the right hand side. They're looking for these wet points on circuit to keep the tyres cool, stop them wearing out. When you're racing on the now what is a dry line, it's going to be hurting these intermediates. And again, are we going to see drivers opt to come in, maybe stick a set of softs on? Fat Pickles going for the drift in the Alpha. Is it going to rain again is the question. Lamborghini's still in a train then. Janio still leading that little trio. Manny, get yourself back on circuit. Whoa, almost caused chaos there. P. Gibb not able to take advantage of that little mistake. Might have slowed them down enough to bring Mocking Weeks back into the fight a little bit. It's brought him a couple of tenths closer. Now Hirakram and Moose like Jared are starting to close up on this top 4. 1.2 seconds behind Mocking Weeks. 13 minutes done, 17 minutes remaining. Strategy not working out too badly for those drivers who opted for the softs. They were able to pull a few seconds lead over everyone else by the time they got round to that pit entrance. Obviously losing all that time as they came in the pits and everyone just drove through, but their tyres were in a lot better condition. See, Inters on for Hirakram will just jump up to Mocking Weeks. Big difference in tyre wear. Looks like Jared having a little battle with Hirakram as well, looking for that 5th, tries to sling one up the inside of the Casino, but it doesn't work. Going for the toe on Hirakram straight out the corner then, Moose. Gets it as they hit the straight though. So Hirakram closing up again on Mockin. Just 1.1 seconds between them. Again, still dragging Moose along for the ride. the Citroen's tyres not looking too good actually. They're showing big chunks of wear, even though that was a late stop for the Inters. Late stop for the Inters. Clark 1.5 seconds down, also opting for that Inter. Pickles 8th, 2.3 seconds behind now. Toby in 9th. Don 10th and LFC Fan 11th, making up 3 seconds on Don. Actually got that down to 29.5 seconds, but halfway through this race, that time not falling fast enough. But Janio up front, in with pretty worn Inters, starting to find a bit of time from those two Lamborghinis behind him. 1.4 seconds the gap. Manny's also got himself half a second penalty he's got to lose. He's also pulled a little bit of gap between himself and P. Gibb, just 1.3 seconds. Martin Weeks is all over the back of him. Hirokram's tucked himself under the rear wing. Moose like Jared there. Mark Clark not too far off the back of that fight either, just 1.4 seconds back himself. Might be able to use the concertina effect into the braking zones to his advantage. Like Jared over to one side of the circuit, still looking for those wet patches. His tyres starting to show big chunks of wear compared to everyone else, even though he stopped late. Now, are we going to see positions change here? Manny is under threat for second by an awful lot of drivers. P. Gibb then in the slipstream, starting to close at 0.3 of a second. Drivers behind him might opt for the move as well. Throws himself over to the racing line now. Nobody able to get the move through there then. Manny holds on to second. Janio has found another couple of tenths up front. 1.5, almost 1.6 seconds the gap. Train of drivers all now closing up. Just still 0.3 seconds between Manny and P. Gibb. Half a second between P. Gibb and Mockin. There's absolutely nothing between Mockin and Hirokram. There's not an awful lot between those two and Moose like Jared either. Big blast of flames coming out the back of the Lamborghini of Manny. Towards the hairpin then. Still nobody able to go for a move. Everybody waiting for those long straights up the hill and on the I say that as Hirokram throws one of the inside at Spoon. The hairpin. Gets himself through. Moose like Jared's found an opening there as well. Does just get himself through. Yeah, the rain's come back. Nobody's going in the pits for softs now. Getting their braking points right. Now the weather's turned. Track hatch starting to dry out. People are getting a little bit comfortable again. Oh, Jared. Oh, Jared. That great big spaceship going sideways at every opportunity. Starts closing up on Hirokram then. Not going to be able to make a move before this corner coming up. Finds that wet part of the circuit as well. Not that he needs to now. Trying to get that thing sideways, Jared. Closes up down towards Casino, slings one up the inside here. Side by side, but he has managed to force his way through. Mocking Weeks as well has found that gap. Whoa, who's that in front? Is that, it's Manny. It's Manny from second place. He's just spun himself around coming out of Casino. There's Mockin. Oh, I thought Mockin had got the move on Hirokram, but he's not carried the speed through there. Dark Clark's harassing him for that position. Who's going to win out in the braking zone down towards turn one? It is going to be Dark Clark. Slings himself across the front. Oh, he's got it all wrong. He's coming too hot. Not quite taking the corner correctly. Fired himself off circuit. Oh, was there a little bit of contact between Mockin? Yes, I think maybe a little bit of a rear end shunt just as he managed to get in front of him. Sent Dark Clark a little bit deep. That's why you saw Mocking Weeks slow down and give that position back to Dark Clark. That's the kind of driving we want. What's happening up the front here? What are you maniacs doing? Okay, P. Gibb then. These two having a little bit of a ding-dong for first. P. Gibb's got himself into the lead of the race. Just saw those positions swapping backwards and forwards a couple of times. I couldn't quite tell what was going on. But it was a battle for the lead. P. Gibb then into the lead of the race. Janio second. Oh, not anymore, not anymore. Again, people just forgetting where the braking points are in this treacherous weather. Now it's turned up again. And unfortunately, Pete Gibb regaining circuit has just slowed down that little pile of cars behind him. Keeps himself right in touch with Janio though as they come into the hairpin. Big pile of drivers starting to come back together then at the end of this race. 10 minutes remaining. Nearly a second gap then for Janio. Everybody's struggling on the worn inters now, trying to find any piece of grip they can. The train runs up the hill then. Janio leads by 0.8 of a second. Oh, that's what I meant to, that's the view I was after, that one. This is a long train, yeah, it's all closed back up. Again, a lot of these drivers opted for soft tyres at the beginning of this race. Everybody else went for inters. The rain came, tiny bit of contact there between Moose Like Jared and Pete Gibb. Leaves the door open wide enough for Hirokram to come through Doc. Like also having a move on him, Pete Gibb. Getting bullied here, it's getting bullied. Yeah, so some of the drivers opted for the soft tyre. Hirokram, Dark Clark, Moose Like Jared opted for the soft tyre for, well, it was supposed to be the first stint, but it was literally the first lap. The rain came down halfway through lap 1. Those top 5 drivers came in the pits, dropped the inters on while everybody else drove themselves past. And they managed to close their way back up, and they're now in the thick of it, looking for the leads of the race. It is still Janio that's leading though. He opted for the inters from the get-go. Yes, there is an absolute train of drivers. I think there's just 2 that aren't involved in that. That's LFC Fan and Don. Both drivers a little way back. Toby is the last man on this train. Let's get ourselves on board, or maybe not on board because you can't see a damn thing out that windscreen. Just see if we can see. There it is, that train of drivers just going through Degner 1 down towards Degner 2. Can Toby close this gap up? Almost. What's it going to be? Moose, Hirokram, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Going to be a 9-car punch up to the line, I think. Janio holding on to the lead though versus that spaceship behind him. Tyres not looking too dissimilar. A little bit more wear on Janio's, but again he's been out a lap longer on those. Moose Like Jared all over the back of him as the exit spoon. Can he get the move running up the hill? Janio pulls a teensy little gap just as they exit that corner. Finding that wet part of the circuit as well for Moose Like Jared. Through 130R, nice and calmly for the pair of them. This is where we see Moose Like Jared fire himself up the inside like a maniac on a few drivers. Tiny bit of love tap between himself and Janio. Doesn't put either of them off. Now, are we going to see Moose Like Jared use the toe down the start-finish straight, get the position off of Janio? Lamborghini's pretty quick though, even with the toe. Moose Like Jared is not closing up on him really. Doesn't even take half a tenth off him down that start-finish straight. Hangs on to it then. The gap's starting to break up now. We've had incidents. Oh, Janio. Oh, where you going, Moose? Where you going? You can't drive around the outside on that corner, you madman. The train has decoupled now. Janio and Moose Like Jared, along with Hirokram, have got themselves a bit of a gap between themselves and Dark Clark. So Dark Clark is another 3 seconds down in 4th position. It's got a mirror full of Mockin Weeks, and Manny is behind Mockin. He's got a mirror full of Toby, so we've got a couple of different carriages that have separated. Oh, I thought that was going to be a great big punch up right to the end. For 5.5 minutes remaining. Having a look at Manny down towards the hairpin. He shuts the door on him on the entrance corner. There's that inside line on the way through there as well. See now the rain stopped, the track dried out very quickly, so you can start seeing these inters wear out quickly again. Just get ourselves back up front. Janio is still hanging on to this lead. The tyres on Moose's Citroen not looking much better. But look at the inters of Hirakram. Look how much tyre life he's got left in his. On board with Hirakram, then chasing down the spaceship of Moose and Janio in first. To 130R, very fast corner. Can't see anything. Oh, he's run wide through there. Hirakram able to keep the power on, doesn't lose too much time. Got to be careful he doesn't pick up a penalty through that though. If he's kept his foot on the throttle, he may grab himself half a second penalty. It looks like he's managed to get away with that one. Has lost a tiny bit of time to those top two in front. Not a lot. He's still within slipstream range. Starting to run out of time. We have got 4 minutes left in this second race of the evening. Can Janio hang on to this win? He's been under threat from Moose like Jared for many laps now, but just seems to have a slight bit of extra acceleration coming out of the corners, regardless of tyre wear. Just seems to hold him in front on the exit of some of these corners. We'll have a look as they run out of the hairpin. There's Jared trying to drive around the outside again on some of these maniac corners. Hirakram in a dangerous looking spot coming down towards Degner. One, is he looking for a move up the inside? He's got his nose up. Almost pushes Moose like Jared off circuit. Very, very aggressive driving here from Hirakram. He's now the chase car, Janio. With the tyre wear he's got on board, I don't think it'll be long before Janio gets that position taken off him. I could be wrong, but Hirakram is no slouch, and again his tyre wear is looking so much better than everyone else on circuit. Just has he got the power to take the Lamborghini? Still under threat from behind with Moose like Jared. Has to go a little bit defensive into some of these corners. He slings another one up the inside. He's catching corners. Yeah, come on Hirakram. Can't be nudging people around there to not be pushed past me. That's not cricket. Here comes the spaceship. Has it got enough to get him before 130R? McLaren starts to pull a little bit of a lead on him as they head up here. Moose like Jared backs out. Janio, he's run himself wide this time. Has that worked out for Hirakram? Not this time. Janio gets back on circuit. Holds that defensive line. Great bit of driving from Janio. Hirakram under threat from Moose like Jared. Moose like Jared, I didn't see Dark Clark sneak up on this fight. It's a four-way battle for the lead then. 2 minute 18 laps. Well, it's getting a little bit bumper car-ish in this final lap. Again, just got to be careful. We've seen Moose like Jared give a few nudges to Hirakram. Hirakram give a few nudges to Janio. Again, we don't want to be winning races by pushing other drivers off circuit. You know, as much as people want to win, let's win cleanly and fairly, shall we? Oh, Janio goes a little bit wide through the S's, and that has allowed Hirakram just up the inside. Does Janio go back up the inside into Degner 1? No, he doesn't. He's got Moose like Jared up the inside now as well. He's losing positions. Dark Clark finds the door wide open and drives through. Janio, what a shame. What a shame. Just had this last lap to try and hold on to it. From first to fourth. Or has he? Chaos for second and third, both getting a bit of a drift on around that corner. Brings Janio right under their rear wing as they head down towards Spoon. Again, tyres are a lap older, so very, very worn out, absolutely blown out on the left hand side, as you can see. behaving itself as well now the weather's dried up a little bit. Huracram then, 10 seconds left on the race clock, unless he spins it round at 130R or the Casino. He's pretty much got this in the bag. There's a battle for second though. Moose Like Jared and Dark Clark side by side, but Dark Clark just has the advantage as he comes into 130R. Gets that second. The torpedoes of Janio and Moose Like Jared decide they're going to run off circuit on the final corner on that final run through 130R. And it is going to be Huracram that takes the win in race 2. Started from the back, did Dark Clark. He comes in second. Janio comes in third. Moose Like Jared fourth. Toby fifth. P. Gibbs sixth. Markin Weeks is going to take seventh. Manny takes 8th. Sam Pickles are going to come home in 9th position in race 2 tonight. Don takes 10th. No, the inters aren't nice. Again, it's been on and off with the weather, so lap 1 was dry until literally the very last corner. So they ended up with a fair chunk of wear on, and then the weather came down. The top 5 went in for inters after opting for the softs, and then they battled their way back towards the front. But obviously, everyone else who's opted for inters from the get-go has got a little bit more wear on the tyres. An LFC fan's been in the pits. He's decided to stick a set of softs on. Are you going for fastest lap of the race? You're going for a sneaky fastest lap right at the end, just for a point. 15 seconds, 2:15.4 at the minute on board with Dark Clark. Should be able to do it on the softs. And does so, 2:12.0. Little blag for you at the end, LFC fan. A little blag win. A commiseration point for him there. But yeah, Huracram takes the win in race 2. Dark Clark taking the win in race 1. And there we go, round 7 done and dusted for another week. Nothing coming up yet. We've got the P1 boys back on the 19th of November with the, what is it, the sort of American thing. Different American tracks, different American cars. That's on a Sunday night at 9 o'clock, but that's not starting until the 19th. I myself am back on Wednesday night at 8:30 for the next round of Team Oliver Racing's GT3 League. So we've got pros and pro-ams running in that. 1 hour endurance. Usually pretty good racing in that one as well. Other than that, I'm back same time, same place next week. 9 o'clock for round 8 of MRC's GTTCC. That's pretty much it from me. I hope you've liked what you watched, people. If you have, give it a like, give it a comment.